All right. Awesome. Welcome, welcome. Welcome to our Thursday Team Tropical Biohackers call. I am Katie Dye. For those of you who I don't know, I see pretty much, I think I know everybody on here. I am one of the OG Tropical Biohackers, and I said yes to this adventure just about 4 years ago. So I am so grateful to be here and so grateful to host this call today. Just a couple of announcements. Make sure you're registered for Global. It's obviously the virtual convention, and it's going to be October 23rd and 24th, and it's going to be amazing and valuable information. So make sure you are registered. And then just make sure that you know all about the corporate incentives that are going on until the end of the year. They're absolutely mind-blowing. They're basically throwing money at us. So make sure you know about all of that. And then also the ones within our own team that we are giving away as well. So if you don't have the information, make sure you ask your upline or any of us, and we can help guide you with the information. And today we have our special guest, Mr. Pro 7 William Lambert out of Pinehurst, North Carolina. We are so happy to have you here. He had 20 years in the health supplement arena, so he knows what kind of gold that we have our hands on. And he built his business to a Pro 7 level, to a Pro 7 rank in 11 months. And he did it in a unique way using influencers. So he went after influencers. So he's going to share a little bit with us about how he did that. He was on our team call last November. So our team has grown exponentially since then. So there's a lot of new faces on here that haven't heard you speak. We heard him speak on stage in Long Beach at one of our conventions, and everyone was just like, wowed. So we got him on a call in November, and we're so happy to have you here today, William. So if you can just share your journey and share where you are now and what you're doing, we are super, super excited to hear from you. So take it away.
You're so sweet. Thank you. Thank you. Well, the first thing, let me explain the hair, guys. At my house, we all grow our hair for wigs for kids. Right now, we've got a 4-year-old that's down to here. We've got a 31-year-old. He just grows his on top. The sides are all shaved off, but he grows his on top, and it's down to like here. And then, of course, you can see mine. So we're all got a good crop going for wigs for kids, and then we'll be back to short hair before you know it. a lot of people come on here and they say, "Who's the chick with the hair?" You know, no, it's just me. Anyway, yeah. Concerning how I did this, basically, I wanted to build it fast, and the only way I knew how to build it fast was pretty much to do it myself. So what I did is I approached several people of influence who had followings of 50,000, 100,000, 130,000 on the internet and on YouTube. And I just cut them a business deal. I said, hey, if you'll let me expose your subscribers to our product, I'll sign you up as a distributor and I'll build your organization for you. And so that's what I did. I built out 2 Pro 5s, a Pro 4, and Pro 3, Pro 2. Yeah, it was a lot. And, got a Pro 6 down there now. And, but it was a lot of work. I had to handle everything, and it's a lot of work. So I got sort of sick of that, doing all that work, because networking is not about doing it yourself. It's about having a team and help. And you guys obviously know that, judging from the amount of people who are on here today. And so when I got a little tired of that, I went up to Marcel and Skip Campbell, and I was like, I don't know, man. It just looks like I'm doing it all. I'm trying to find some leaders down my team. I got 500 distributors, and I'm looking for leaders, and they're not there. So, Skip was like, man, I'm so glad you came to me and asked me this, because you're doing it all wrong. I was like, okay, well, that's why I'm here. I'll stick my head through the wall. Just get me to Pro 10, will you? And he's like, okay, I'm going to tell you exactly what to do. He said, approach, send them the video, follow up. That's it. 15 a month till you find your 5. Then help them find their 5. Then help them find their 5. Then help them find their 5. You're going to work your face off just like you've been doing. But after a while, you won't have to work your face off so much because you got a team and they're all working their face off because you worked your face off and set the example. And then I called Marcel because I figured Marcel would, might have a little nugget for me. He's, nah, it's the same way Skip told you. I was like, okay, I'll do it. And they said, oh, by the way, get in your car, go meet your people. I'm like, okay. So last week, I live in North Carolina, so last week I was in Georgia, traveling all over the state, meeting team members, just stopping in, having a coffee with them, for half hour, an hour. I ain't worried about no COVID. So, we'd meet at Dunkin' Donuts or Panera or someplace like that. And so this week, I was like, well, what am I going to do this week? Jumped in the car, came to Ohio. Gracious enough, Holly and Brian will put me up tonight so I can hang around Ohio and do a little work. And last night, one of my team members down in Stowe, about 30 miles down the road, put me up and spent some time with him. Took a 2-hour road trip with him across Ohio and met with one of my Pro 5s. Surprised him with a visit. His wife knew I was coming, but he didn't, and he was freaking out. Frank Villa, yeah, that was pretty awesome. And discovered he's got a redwood tree in his backyard. He's in Toledo, Ohio. He's got a redwood tree in his backyard. That was so cool. I'd have never known that if I hadn't come to visit. But, having FaceTime with people seems to make a difference. It lets them know that you're real and you do have that blemish on your nose actually, and you do cough occasionally, and you're real. You're just a real person. You're not that perfect person they idolize you as on the phone or on the Zoom or whatever. And it lets them know that you care about them, that you're willing to help them. And the folks in Georgia, I activated a couple of people down there, and we're doing the 1, 2, 3 thing with them that Marcel and Skip told me about. And we've got 100% sign-up rate so far. So yeah, that's working. And it's just grinding it out, just doing the thing. And I'm still on the lookout for people of influence. I will do that again because that's a good side deal to add volume. Because I went Pro 5 in 45 days, so that was pretty fast, I thought. And I know one person of influence that's come in since I did my thing, because I taught this guy how to do it, and he attracted a guy of influence. He went Pro 5 in 11 days. Yeah, it was insane. That guy was like, thanks so much for teaching me how to do that. So I was like, you stink, man. You got it in 11 days? Are you kidding me? That's crazy. So anyway, it works, but you got to find the right person. And I do have some YouTubers that are out there that I sponsor, but they really don't get it. They really aren't engaged. They're sort of aloof, and they don't answer your phone calls when you call them. And, it's just life. Everybody's different, and you're going to get some of that too. So, but yeah, life is good. Life is good. On to Pro 10. I don't know. Anybody got any questions?
I have a question.
Sure.
Thanks for being on the call, William.
Thank you, Kristen.
So it sounds like what you're saying is that don't go out from the get-go and just find, just do the influencer way. Perhaps just kind of add that in as some extra volume, and maybe combine the two.
Well, it can be a lot of volume if you get the right guy, if he's all bought in and he believes in what you're trying to do for him, and he's willing to dedicate 10 minutes a week to it, because that's all it takes from the person of influence. But because his word has so much weight with his followers, all he's got to do is say, you need to buy this stuff, and they buy it. By the hundreds, they buy it.
So my question
go ahead.
is, so I remember you saying 99% of you won't do this, or maybe 1%. And I did send out about 20 different videos and I didn't get one. So what is the percentage of when you would send out that initial video that would actually bite?
That is so great that you asked me that, because Holly and I were just talking about that this morning. I said, Holly, I got so blessed in the beginning because I got them 1, 2, 3. All my influencers just pop right in the beginning. And that's the reason.
I still haven't found one.
And she's still looking. She's been at it 9 years. She's still looking. But, you know, I was so blessed to find them pop, because since then, I've probably approached 300. And I got a couple, but they're, you know, they got a lot of followers, but they're not paying me no attention, y'all. I don't know how to get them to pay me some attention. If I was married and had this good-looking wife, they'd probably pay me some attention. But no, it's just ugly old William. But yeah, it takes work. It does. It takes a lot of approaches. It really does. It's a lot of work. But, you know, here's the thing. And Marcel, he says it in his presentation. It's not about who you know. It's about who you know and who they know. It's about who you know and who they know. It's about the guys down the line. Because if I sponsor Kristen and Kristen sits on it, but Kristen brought in Katie and Katie wants to roll, I can grab Katie's hand and roll with her and leave Kristen in the dust. You know what I'm saying? So it's all about who wants to run. That's the deal. It doesn't matter who you sponsor and if they're moving and who do they know? Who can they lead you to? Today, check this out. This is crazy. Wait a minute. It was yesterday. Yesterday, this guy called me. Called me on the phone. He said, Lambert, he said, I got this lady, this big networker, and she's sort of dissatisfied with her company because they keep changing the comp plan on her. I think she's looking, and I thought of you because she's in the health field, you know. And he said, can you send me an email to drop on her? I was like, sure, you know. So I got this big, long email with all the clinical studies and everything, so I drop it over to him. Come to find out, he's looking to come in under her if she decides to come over. So I'm going to try to red carpet her since she's already a networker with Taylor Warry and all that crap. But anyway, here's the thing I want to tell you. I've been approaching that guy for 5 years, trying to get him involved with me in different stuff. Never, ever, ever wanted to do nothing with me. And then he calls me yesterday, wanting to get involved with me, you know, or inquiring, which is much more than he's ever done in the past. So you never know when it's going to come back on you if you're doing the work, if you're putting out the effort. You never know when they're going to boomerang back on you and come see you, you know. So definitely go out there and do those approaches and keep approaching them and keep approaching them and keep dripping on them. Never let them go, because that big dog you've been chasing, if you just give up on them and then you see them at a function, you're going to be kicking yourself. And when you see them, they say, where'd you go? I didn't hear back from you ever. You know, that's going to be a ticked off person there with you, right? You're going to be up in the room the rest of the weekend going, I don't want to do this no more. She signed up my person. You know, but whose fault was it? It was your fault for dropping the ball and not contacting them again. So always keep dripping. Always keep dripping. AKD, baby. Hey, Ashmu.
Hi. Hi. Nice to meet you. I have a question. I was wondering, do you have any tips for approaching influencers? I have a few friends that I've been thinking about talking to. They're pretty big, and I know them personally, but do you have any recommendations?
Are you talking about networkers already, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
They're already networkers.
Yes. She's a food blogger, and her husband is like UFC.
Who's the elite on this call anyway? Is there an elite on this call? There, I thought so. Wasn't I on stage with you and your husband? Was I on stage on Long Beach with you and your husband?
No, we saw you on stage with your flip-flops, but no.
I think I got the same pair of shorts on I had that day.
That's why we love you. We're like, he's one of our peeps.
But here's the thing with those, and Kristen, you back me up here. But those folks who are already networkers, number one, you got to find out what they're looking for, if they might be open to another deal, and realize this: you must keep approaching them. Do not give up when they tell you no. Because if they're smart networkers or if they're seasoned networkers, they won't tell you no. They'll say, not right now. Maybe later if they do me wrong or if they change something, yeah, but stay in contact. So just rest assured you're going to have to keep approaching through the months and maybe years. I've had some heavy hitting networkers. I mean, people that made millions of dollars in networking. And this guy I told you about a minute ago is one of them. And his main thing is setting things up on the internet and let it run automatically so he doesn't have to work at all. Now, I would love to know how to do that. But anyway, I keep asking him to teach me and he never will. But anyway, I guess he didn't want any competition. Anyway, him and a 70-year-old lady who made millions in Noni, just millions and millions in Noni, had a worldwide organization. I finally got her to enroll and bring some of her big dogs over. But keep approaching. Now, what I would share with them, what would you, Kristen, what would you share with them?
I would probably try to get them on a call since you know them initially with, you know, maybe even Daisy, who's an influencer. I think influencers like influencers. So I think that would be a good way to do it. And we have a video of William actually explaining how to do it that we can, I think it's on our website. It's called William's Way.
Yeah. One thing now, if they're already networkers, now you're talking about networkers, you're not talking about YouTubers, right, Ashman? Okay, very good. Networkers, you know, they've already been sold up and down every single way that you can ever be approached. So they're pretty savvy on, you know, they know when a pitch is coming, right? They really do. I would. And so what I would do is just call them the same way you would anybody and say, hey, I've got something I'm really excited about. And I've known you for a long time. And I want you to be aware of what I'm up to. And just send them the ABC Got It. Or send them the ABC video. Just like you would anyone. And just tell them, say, hey, I'll give you a call back in a couple of days to see what you thought of it. It took me 6 times to watch that video. It took 6 approaches for me to watch that video, girl. I'm telling you, I did not want to watch that video. I was not looking for nothing else. But on the 6th time, I promised her, yes, I'll watch it. And I did. And then for the next 3 days, I watched YouTube videos. And I was simply amazed. I was so enthralled with this company. I was making about between $4,000 and $5,000 a month with the company I was with before. I was in another networking company. And I totally resigned that company and got on with this, knowing that I could replace my income in 6 months or less. And so, yeah, I just totally resigned. That's how convinced I was that this thing was the real deal. I mean, I was of the opinion that the NRF2 should cost $1,000 a month. So don't lose hope if they don't watch it the first time, or if they say, you know, I've been meaning to watch it. I've just been real busy lately. And, you know, you're going to hear some of that. It's okay. Expect it. Please don't get down on yourself. But just approach them the same way you would anybody, because what you're going to prove to them is the simple duplication method that we have. It's just 1, 2, 3. You're proving to them what they have to do in order to build their business, and you're going to show them how simple it is. That's what I'd do to them if I was you. I'd just show them how simple it is, because whatever they're doing now might be much more complicated, much more involved, if you will. So it's just approach, drop the video, follow up. And just know that you're going to have to probably follow up and follow up and follow up and follow up until they tell you no or get in your business. Because if they watch the video, they're probably going to get in your business or ask you for the comp plan, or both. Yeah.
I have a question.
Thank you.
What is your retention rate on the YouTuber customers that came in? Do you still have
we ran that one time. I think it was about 55% if they stay with it for 10 months.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Which is pretty high. I mean, the last company I was with, we couldn't put them in the front door faster than they can fall out the back. And so this has been very impressive. Very impressive. What do you think? What's your retention? About 55?
Oh yeah, well yeah, probably a little closer to like 63 or so.
Yeah, she's about 63. She said, yeah.
As an organization.
As an
Obviously,
organization.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's so nice to have a probate in front of me while I'm talking to you guys.
You know, Holly, do you have anything to share with us?
William's doing a fantastic job. I am not stealing this man's thunder.
I know.
You ain't stealing nothing, girl.
I'm
Just
not
jump on in
stealing
there
this
anytime
man's
you want
thunder.
to.
No.
And
But,
anyone else have questions, or keep on going?
Yeah, it's
William,
fine.
what about tell them about how you send the video instead of just a text?
Oh yeah. Okay. Now most laptops have have a camera on it, you know, and you can record on that camera. And what I did is I would take that video and drop it on YouTube. I would download the video to YouTube. I've created a YouTube channel, of course, which is very simple. I mean, if you use Google, you got a YouTube account. So just drop it on YouTube and mark it as unlisted. Don't mark it as private because nobody can see it. Don't mark it as public because you don't want everybody seeing it. Mark it as unlisted. That way, only people that watch it are people that you send the link to, right? So what I would do is for each individual person that I was approaching, I would shoot a video introducing myself and telling them how much I enjoy their channel and asking them to give me a call. I had a business proposition for them. And several of them, you know, they didn't get involved with me, but they called me on the phone and they were like, man, that's the sharpest sales approach I've ever seen in my entire life. You just personalize me all at one side and down the other. And so, you know, I did actually sign up to like that, which worked really, really well. Just got to get them off the dime, for goodness sakes. But yeah, that's a good way of doing it as well. And the way I contacted them before that was I would find them on YouTube, and then I would cross-reference them to see if they were on Facebook, because I didn't have a lot of luck with emails, you know, just typing stuff out in an email and sending it to them. And that's the reason I came up with the video. I would use the email, but I would have a video in there instead of old typed up words, right? And it was much more engaging. Let's just put it that way. And but before that, if I needed to type something out to someone, I would find them on Facebook and send them the message, typewritten. So if you're camera shy, you can do it that way if you'd like. Send it to them in Messenger.
Awesome.
But, Katie, do you have a question?
I
Or
don't have a
was
question.
that your question?
That was my sister's question.
Oh, that was who's your sister?
Kristen's my sister.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Well, y'all do favor, don't you now?
Yeah, we do. Anyone else have questions? This is amazing. I just love you. You're just
Well, thank you.
you're so cute. Thank you. Anyone?
I have a question. So you said that you're firing up your team and building your leaders. Like, how do you personally reach down to help them so that the leverage, gets a little easier on your shoulders, William?
Well,
what do you do to encourage them, I guess?
Darling, that's a real good question. Me and Holly been talking about that pretty much all day. But all you can do is all you can do, and that's all you can do. That's really all. I'm gonna tell you what I mean.
Show up.
You the one got to be there,
Yeah.
and you got to make yourself available, and that's all you can do. And you can tell them you're the best approacher in the world. You must have sent out 100 videos this week, knowing they didn't send one. Oh man, you just sort of, you try to lift them up, you try to build them up, and you tell them they are more than they think they are, and you see more in them than others do, and you see more in them than they see in themselves, and you do stuff that the normal world doesn't do. You become, well, for lack of a better word, the wind underneath their wings, like that song says, and you give 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 and you give, and you might wind up with a leader that figures out, hey, I'm a leader. I really am a leader, aren't I? Because we've all seen them. We all know people that have potential, and they just don't get it. They want to go home and have a beer, or they want to smoke a joint, or they just want to play games on their video machine, or they want to watch the soap opera. You know, they don't think they've got what it takes to be what we're imagining that they are when they indeed do it. We can see it. They just can't see it in themselves. And listen, I'm not just talking about people that are not me. I'm talking about me too. I can think of 1,000 reasons not to get on this Zoom. I can think of 1,000 reasons not to pick up that phone and make another approach. We all fight those battles, and you just have to make those folks understand that they're not the only ones struggling with those types of things. And that's how you build people up. You do that. And when you do that, you endear them to yourselves, because no one else is doing it for them. No one. They never have. And they come to the conclusion, this is the wrong reason that they're doing it, but they come to the conclusion that they don't want to disappoint you. So they get on the phone. That's the wrong reason to do it, but that's good enough to get them started. That's how you do it. What do you think, Kristen?
That's amazing. That was perfect. Thank you. I think we all, especially myself.
How many people have you prayed with on your team that you know needed it?
That's
Boom, Daddy. Boom, Daddy. That's a real great way to let them know you care. Can I pray with you? No one's ever done that with me before. You're special. You really care. And mean it. Yeah, that's how you do it.
100%. Thank you, William. I so appreciate you being on today. We're just about at the time, so I just express my gratitude and my love from all of us here at the Tropical Biohackers.
I got plenty of places to stay in Hawaii. I can see it. There's like 20 folks on here.
He'll take you up on it too. You don't need to
I'd love for you to come visit. Aw, thank you. I hope everybody has a beautiful rest of your day. And that's a wrap for today.
Thank you for having me. It's quite an honor.
Much love, much aloha.
Love.